Hello and welcome to my channel. It's the Network Specialist. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so that you know each and every time I upload a video. Everything I will discuss in this video is alleged and in my very own opinion, used for entertainment purposes only. Now, today we're going to discuss whether Birdman is broke or not. Okay, because we've never really cared about Birdman's pockets so hard until he got with Tony Braxton. So a lot of people want to know if Birdman is broke. So we're going to get into it. So let me go ahead and remove this so that I can know if you guys can hear me. And then we're going to get into some things. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay, so I just want to make sure that you guys can see the screen. And guys, since I am sharing, sometimes the volume can be a little low, so make sure that your volume is turned up so that you can definitely hear.
Drake, and seems like Birdman has been dragged into the conversation. Ross stated that Drake should have helped Birdman.
And by the way, guys, shout out to Lamar Falk. This is his video that I am sharing and going to be reacting to. So shout out to him. And if you don't follow him already, go follow Lamar Falk. He has some great content. Let's go.
Rather than allowing his friend to go into foreclosure on his former Star Island mansion in Miami. I did a bit of digging and searching and researching and found out some information regarding this quote unquote foreclosure. So here's the truth about the foreclosure. The attorney for rapper Birdman, aka Brian Williams, decided to set the record straight back in 2018. Outlets reported that the Cash Money CEO had been forced out of his Miami Beach, Florida home and had his personal property confiscated. Now, Williams bought the mansion, which was built in 2004, from Rockstar Energy drink founder Russell Weiner for $14.25 million back in 2011. Birdman paid mostly cash, over $9 million in cash, and took out a $5 million mortgage. Since the home was trashed when he bought it, Williams spent a few millions to renovate the place into a baller's paradise with lots of marble and chrome and custom lighting and textured animal print wallpaper. He even added two golden toilets at $50,000 a piece. Now, when a balloon payment on the $5 million loan came due, Williams decided to refinance the loan with another private lender.
And let me just say this, out of all the homes that he has owned, this was definitely the nicest one. But he no longer owns it. But let's continue.
And this is where the troubles started. The lender turned a $5 million residential mortgage for some reason into a $12 million commercial mortgage. Not sure how or why they did that. And then charged a 24% penalty fee, all in violation of state and federal law, according to the attorney. I think any of us would know that seems to be illegal. By converting the private residential loan into a commercial loan, the lender wasn't subject to the regulations that keep individual borrowers from predatory lending practices. However, Williams didn't realize the burdensome nature of the loan at the time, so he basically accepted an illegal loan. It's rich folk problems, I guess. Williams, Birdman, complied with the terms and made payments on the new loan. The house even was on the verge of generating income when a Saudi prince decided he wanted to possibly pay $250,000 a month for a few months. And since Birdman had another mansion in New Orleans at the time, he thought, why not? Let's give it a shot. Let's make a little extra cash. Now, when another balloon payment came due, the questionable loan structure became evident, and Williams attempted to refinance again. During those negotiations, he failed to make a monthly payment on time. As a result, in February 2017, the lender raised the interest rate to 24% and assessed it retroactively. With the prospect of a six-figure interest charge tacked onto already large monthly mortgage payments, the attorney and Williams decided to contest the loan. While working on fighting the terms of the loan, they decided it might be better just to sell the place. As a result, the mansion went up for sale for $20 million in July 2017. Then disaster hit. Hurricane Irma hit in September of 2017. This is bad luck, isn't it? Severely damaging the home, including the roof and sending water pouring in through broken windows. Many of the luxury furnishings were ruined and the place was deemed unlivable. The lease deal with the Saudi prince.
Okay, so on top of having a illegal loan and the mortgage just going up, up, and up, then there was a hurricane that came and totally destroyed the property. Okay.
Of course, didn't go through. He wouldn't want to stay in a ruined, flooded mansion. Birdman moved into a plush Miami penthouse. Couldn't go back to his New Orleans home. Why? Because it was damaged as well. Now, according to the attorney, the move.
So, guys, if you didn't hear that, his New Orleans house was damaged by Hurricane Katrina as well. So, he has had two separate properties that were destroyed by a hurricane. Let's continue.
Out of the mansion had nothing to do with an eviction. As a result of the damage, Williams filed a claim with his insurers, Lloyd's of London, which was unclear. It was unclear how long it would take Lloyd's to resolve the claim, so the home's lender offered to appoint a receiver who could oversee the repairs to the property and pay for the damages quickly. Now, Birdman agreed to these terms so the elements wouldn't cause further damage. Now, at that time, Birdman and his team were allowed to go in and remove his clothes and shoes. He left behind a few personal items, including Grammys and platinum albums on the wall. The receiver had those awards and records placed in climate-controlled storage. According to the attorney, those items were freely available to Williams at any time. The lawyer says reports of Birdman filing claims to retrieve his personal items were simply untrue. The receiver took the remaining personal items he left at the mansion and is holding them or held them in storage, pending an order from the judge to release it to him. So where did all this hoopla regarding this home leave Birdman? Well, the lender filed foreclosure proceedings, while Birdman and his attorney filed a counterclaim against the lender because the mortgage was fraudulent, illegal, and in violation of numerous federal and state lending laws. And of course, Birdman has always been able to pay the $12 million loan at any time. So the easy solution would be to sell the property. He tried to sell it for 15.5, and everyone could settle at that point. In the end, the mansion ended in foreclosure, but it's not as clear cut as it seems. It seems seems to be more of a principled decision by Birdman rather than a loss based on the inability to pay, as it seems to be alluded to by Rick Ross. So there you have it, folks. Drake possibly could have helped, but Birdman didn't seem to need the help. He had the money to pay, it seems, according to the attorney. So it looks like what Ricky Rose is saying is a little moot. Someone send this to Rick Ross. And also go check out his recent Houston home tour that I posted. He heard you.
Okay, so the reason why that house went into foreclosure is because it was an illegal loan to begin with. And when it was all said and done, Birdman just decided to wash his hands of the property because of everything that had happened, even the hurricane. He just no longer wanted to deal with that property. Now, let me just show you guys a quick video of the properties that Birdman actually does own. Okay. Let's get into that because some people seem to think that Birdman is broke, but Birdman caught some strays when it came to um, Rick Ross and Drake, their beef. Okay. So Birdman definitely had the money to pay off that mortgage, but decided not to do it. Give me 1 second, guys.
Into the truth about Birdman's foreclosure on his Miami mansion, it seems fitting to explore a little bit more of his extensive real estate portfolio. If you find this content engaging, I would ask you hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, Birdman, whose real name is
And again, guys, this video is coming from Lamar Fault YouTube channel. So if you want to see, more of his videos, make sure you go and follow him.
Brian Williams, has curated a collection of luxurious properties across various cities, including New Orleans, Atlanta, and Miami. New Orleans for $550,000. Unfortunately, it fell into foreclosure, transitioning the ownership to the Bank of New York. Now, this residence, spanning over 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, and 3,467 square feet, reportedly served more as a haven for fellow artists than Birdman's primary dwelling. Now, from 2011 to 2021, Birdman resided in a prestigious Miami condo located at the Diplomat Oceanfront Residences, renting for $14,900 monthly. This opulent abode boasts 4 bedrooms, 6.5 bathrooms, and over 5,000 square feet of living space, offering breathtaking ocean views. Now let's revert back. We said renting for $14,900. It's very possible that he owned it. There were no. I could not find any information to validate that, but I don't want to short him. It's very possible that he owned the condo, which was last sold in 2007 for $2 million. It's also being said that he has purchased a unit in the new Porsche design tower in Sunny Isle Beach, Florida. It has 5 bedrooms, 5.5 baths. It's a trophy mansion in the sky with interiors and 6,600 square feet and an 1,100
Now,
square
this
feet 4
property
car
is
sky
beautiful.
garage with private car elevator, so you can safely get into your 50 plus store penthouse in complete privacy. Now, that's a nice one right there. That's probably where he spends his time. A notable entry in Birdman's real estate saga is his abandoned Louisiana mansion, following the devastation wrought by Hurricane Katrina in 2005. This sprawling property, spanning 10,948 square feet, was left abandoned. Despite its estimated current value of $1.1 million per Zillow, the home remained abandoned and desolate for quite some time, featuring 2 hot tubs, a sauna, and a neglected swimming pool. Further properties of interest include the Atlanta.
Now they really need to figure out what they're going to do with that New Orleans property. I mean, why leave a $1 million mansion abandoned? Either tear it down, fix it up, do something with it. Like it's still worth a lot of money.
Residence he shared with Tony Braxton, who his name is still on it with hers. And another notable foreclosure case, which we talked about in the previous video in Miami. You can click above to see that video. Now stay tuned for future segments where we dive.
Okay, so this is what I want to say about Birdman. It seems like he really does not spend a lot of money on lavish properties. I mean, because I've seen some celebrities spend 20, 30 million on their properties. So, it seems like maybe Birdman is, utilizing most of his money on his whole fund, paying all these women's bill and not really spending that much money on his own personal properties. He did buy that house with Tony in 2021 for 6.3 million. And initially the home was in an LLC, but they transferred it into Tony's name and Birdman's name in July of 2022. I'm not sure what that was all about, but maybe initially he wasn't so sure about his relationship with Tony. So, but I guess after a year, maybe she put some pressure on him and he decided to put their name on the mortgage. Okay. Now, the other thing is, it is said that Birdman has a net 160 million. According to the good old Google, it's saying as of 2025, he has an estimated net worth of 160 million. Okay. So Birdman is not broke at all. Okay. So when it comes to Birdman and Tony Braxton, she definitely hit the lotto, because this is coming from somebody who has had to file for bankruptcy at least 2 times. Okay. So let's not get it twisted. Birdman is not broke. And I shared in a previous video that his income is supposed to increase significantly in 2026. So I do believe that had something to do with Tony Braxton deciding not to move forward with that divorce. That doesn't mean that she's not going to move forward after she's able to collect, but I believe that, you know, is the reason why she decided to hold on just a little longer. Okay. Now, before I get out of here, there is something else that I want to show you guys that I did run across. So let me grab that, because this is what I want to end this show on. Let's see here. One second, guys. I'm bringing that up right now. Okay, so let me just make sure that we can see it. And then I'm going to go ahead, and there's only a very short part of this video that I want you to see. But guys, this is coming from the Impressive YouTube channel. I have actually been following her for a very, very long time, like years before I even became a content creator. So I love her down. Okay.
Channel, we
But
got to talk about the Braxton sisters because
but let me
the
get to the part that I want you guys to see. Because we're not going to listen to this whole video, just one specific part. Let's
Wanda
go.
resentful, and her jealousy of Tamar is evident to some people. In fact, there's a woman who claims to be the cousin of the Braxtons. Her name is Lachey Braxton.
Check this out, guys. We got the cousin of the Braxtons, Lachey Braxton, speaking out on the Braxton sisters. Listen up, guys.
She even said that Tawanda was always jealous.
I'm gonna say my little 2 cents on the Braxtons because, as you all may well know, my last name is Braxton, and yes, those are my cousins. I'm gonna say this: Tawanda has always been jealous of Tony and Tamar. Tawanda has always been seen
Gotcha, Mama
in the
D.
background as the background singer. So when it comes to the spotlight and the income and the money, there you have it: pure jealousy, and everything goes all the way back. It starts back what? The head of the household. They were taught. Everything that you see these young ladies do on screen, this ain't for cameras at all. Ooh, I got stories and stories of family reunions. This ain't for cameras at all. This is exactly how they act. Tawana has always been the messy and sneaky one, her and Trina. They have always been messy and sneaky. Their whole entire lives, this is how they are. And they've always been jealous of Tony and Tamar. Tony being the oldest, Tamar being the baby girl. They have always been jealous. And for the simple fact that your sister paid your down payment and you continue to keep dragging her and keep dragging her, watch what Tamar do.
I thought it was interesting when the cousin mentioned that it all starts at the head. It really does start with the parents, you know. I think the favoritism and how they treated some of the children, and even overlooking and suppressing some of the abuse that was happening, that really affected the sisters. And this is why they are the way they are now. It's really sad. But anyway, tell me what you all think about this video down below, please.
So the cousin had a whole lot to say. I mean, It seemed like a little, but she actually said a lot in that very short clip. First of all, she said Tawanda has always been messy, okay, and jealous hearted. We're just finding this out, but she's saying Tawanda has always been that way. And she also said that it starts at the head. So this behavior that you guys are seeing, it came from the mother and the father. And although Miss Evelyn, she's absolutely beautiful right now, in that picture, she looked very different. So I don't know if she lost so much weight due to stress, or maybe she put herself on a diet. I don't know, but she looks so much better now that she did lose a lot of that weight. She's absolutely beautiful now. She actually looks better than Trina and Tawanda, if we're keeping it real. Okay. And Mama B said, this is just sad. It is. But, we were having a conversation down in my comments like we usually always do. So, guys, if you just happen to be catching the replay, make sure let me know you're, part of the replay gang and leave comments so that we can talk about, the live in the comments. But a lot of people want this show to go away. They feel like it's just so toxic and they no longer want to watch. And then some people feel like they don't want to watch their fave, Tony Braxton, displayed this way on TV. Now, me personally, I have mixed feelings about the whole situation, about should they stay or should they go, because as a content creator and just viewers in general, like a lot of people has always bashed reality TV because of all the fake storylines, and they always complain and say they just want people to show their real life. It's called reality TV. So they go in a lot because these reality TV stars don't show their real life. So this is their real life. The cousin just confirmed it. So sometimes real life ain't pretty. I mean, as famous as the Jacksons were, they had very similar stories. Their life wasn't pretty either. That just goes with the territory, okay? Nobody's life is picture perfect. So some people, like Tony Braxton, she will go to the ends of the earth to protect her squeaky clean image. So I thought it was very enlightening when she said that she spent all this money on her publicist because of all the messes that, Tamar create on social media. So are you doing that for Tamar, or are you doing that for yourself? Because Tamar got her own coins, okay? She doesn't need you to clean up her messes. Tamar is being exactly who she is, and that's part of the reason why she's reality TV gold. I'm not sure why the other sisters haven't figured that out. Like, people love to see the real and the raw, but you got some people that obviously think that the show is too toxic, but at the end of the day, y'all wanted them to show their real lives. In previous seasons, you guys said that, they weren't talking about their life, they were exploiting, Tracy's son, Kevin Jr., whatever the case may be. So they're showing more of their real life, and people still aren't happy. So I don't know. I don't know what it's going to take. People are going to complain either way, but at the end of the day, Tamar is going to be who she is. You get what you get. So that's never going to change. So if anything, Tamar needs her own show so that she doesn't have to be involved in the toxicity and she can just be who she is, because we have come to love Tamar being exactly who she is. And if you see all of the comments that have been floating around on social media, I would say at least 95 of the people are Team Tamar. And that's including all three of the sisters, because a lot of people who are fans of Tony Braxton, they are side eyeing Tony Braxton right now. And they also feel like Tony is playing both sides on social media. She wants us to think that she's Team Tamar, but when it comes to Tawanda and Trina, she sides with them right in Tamar's face. So Tony Braxton, you're looking like you're a lot like your other two messy, toxic sisters. Okay. We don't want to think that about you, but at this point, that's really what it's looking like. So, Tony, this is probably a good time to pay your publicist to clean this shit up, okay? Because now it's not just Tamar looking bad out here. Now you're looking bad as well for taking up for your messy, toxic, brokey sisters. Okay. So, guys, that's going to be it for this video. And, guys, if you did not like the video on your way in, please like the video on your way out. And again, if you just happen to be catching the replay, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so that you know each and every time I upload a video. Thanks again for watching. And don't forget, drop down in the comments section so that we can keep this conversation going. Thanks again for watching, and bye for now.